Hi everyone, welcome back to Enigma's DCS server, and this time I'm flying the A10. I haven't really flown it in a little bit, just because I've been putting so much time into the F5, and I thought it was about time to dust it off and get some good old-fashioned ground attack in. But as it turns out, I got quite a bit of air-to-air combat as well. So let's jump into the first brief sortie. So here we are, just trying to fly towards enemy territory. I've got a basic loadout of cluster bombs and mavericks. Still getting a weird bug where I can only have 2 weapons available at a time. It's a bit of a workaround with activating air-to-air. But I find it just easier just to equip 2 types of weapons, that way I know I can always have access to the mavericks. So I'm trying to get locks on this base here, but pretty much everything in that area is already destroyed. It's just off to the right screen. I'm looking the wrong way. There it is. And so there's no air defences there, but the buildings are still attacked. And so because of my only build bringing 2 weapons rule, I only have the cluster bombs, I don't have the heavier ordnance. I figure I'll drop a cluster bomb on the outpost and see what happens. And so nice and easy without any air defences there. Get a nice hit and get an outpost kill. Not exactly fantastic, but it's a start, just off from taking off. And then I continue on, looking for new targets. I spot this over here, but this turns out to be a road base. I'm not sure if it's active or not, but see that sort of road base layout that we have. See the smoke up ahead from these vehicles. Again, someone's already been in this area, and as I'm trying to get a lot, I hear a merge call. React a bit slowly here. Kind of taking my time with this turn. I really should be a bit more cautious about this. Trying to work out where this contact is. He's only 3 miles away, but he sees me long before I see him and takes the back of my plane off. Do manage to bail, but really not the best initial sortie. So let's try again.
Chemist 1-1, you have a hind on your 1 o'clock, 071 for 6.
071 for 6, copy. So we do have magic this time. He's been looking out for me, and he spots a hind up ahead.
Altitude.
So I'm trying to get view on it. I had actually seen the hind a little bit before on the Maverick scope. Hinds do glow quite a bit on IR. I see the hind here. Probably could have taken this shot. It's a little bit far and he's really close to the trees. And so I'm not sure. If I'd taken the shot, I think it'd be 50-50 whether it would have hit the tree or not. Tally on the hind. Cool there that there is a MiG. It's just on the left-hand side of the screen. You can see anti-air going up to it. Do see it. I launch a missile, but I can just see the parachute there. So the Vulcan actually got that kill. I thought I did, that's why I called out the splash, but lost tally on the hind. Unfortunately, the hind managed to disappear. I think he landed behind the trees there. Copy.
Was someone asking for ground targets a couple minutes ago?
If you have any on A10 on the front lines, I can respond.
Roger that. We're marking targets on the north side of the front line and we're clearing out AAA right now.
Pull up.
Copy.
Pull up.
And there, I slam into the ground. I got taken out by a missile while I was trying to talk. Another MiG-21 in the area. And at this point I've been shot down twice and decide that it's really time for some revenge, so I pay a lot more attention to the in-game Overlord callouts. So here you can see a target moving left to right. Get a missile off on him. Don't think he's seen me at all at this point. And get a nice splash there.
Altitude, altitude.
So there we go, that was a MiG-19 that I took out. And then immediately I see this. Now, I'm not entirely sure at this point. I'm not great at IDing, and I honestly couldn't tell whether this was a Viggen or a MiG. And I err on the side of caution, so I asked for a bogey date just to confirm that this guy is an enemy and not just a returning Viggen. I get the call right in the direction he is, close range, so I fire my missile. And splash second bandit. So quite happy there, I've been shot down twice, but I picked up 2 kills. Now, I head in on the site that one of the Gazelle pilots had marked. It's having multiple AA in the area. And I just let off my Mavericks. I can't really ID anything that I'm shooting here, but we're over in territory, so I know whatever it is bad, and I'm just trying to keep in mind which dots I've launched at previously so I don't double tap any ground units. Going particularly for any set of dots that I think looks like a shulker, as I've been killed by far too many shulkers in this. I think I do still end up double tapping there. So I don't want to go straight in on that site because the Mavericks aren't really that fast. So I want them to kill the targets before I get there. And then I see this base just off to the side. So arm my cluster bombs, and this looks like a great target. So I drop them. I did accidentally click the wrong button there and fired my gun instead. Didn't mean to. Come back around on the first base I targeted and drop my remaining cluster bombs. See a big splash in the background as the kill feed fuels up. I really wiped out 2 sites there, so feeling pretty good. I am taking a lot of fire at this point and lose my elevator control. So unfortunately a ZSU got me there, but still that's 2 air kills, 10 ground kills.
This Shadow 1-1, who was in the A10 that just dropped the bomb on this target that I had marked?
That was me.
Stand by, I may have some more targets for you in just a moment. I'll try and mark them.
Copy, I got taken down by a ZSU. So I rearm, take back off, start heading out, and again the area is covered in AA and enemy fighters, so I'm doing my best to keep an eye out and I get this merge call, which is never fun to get when you can't see the target, but then I see this bomber up high and I try and get around an angle here, but I just can't keep up. You can see my speed is just bleeding off here. I do mess up a little bit. I should have not tried to climb so much for him. And then I'm very slow getting my flaps down. As you can see there, I'm very near to completely stalling.
Altitude.
And that's just
Altitude.
because I didn't have flaps. Here, this is just because I have half flaps and not full flaps. I'll try and get up, but just don't quite have enough energy to complete the loop. And so start falling back down. And not too surprising, the farmer does have a lot better thrust to weight than the A10, and so this guy keeping it in the vertical was really a good decision by him. I'm just struggling at this point. I've completely lost track of where he went, and all I know is that he knows that I'm here, he's around, and he probably has missiles.
Altitude. Altitude.
And unfortunately, he's right on my tail.
Altitude.
I turn, try and get a cheeky missile on him. Do launch it there, but it doesn't track, and he explodes, and I get briefly very, very confused. But nicely enough, this other A10 came by and absolutely saved me. However, a second farmer comes in and hits me in the back with a missile before I can recover, and now I've got both engines failed.
Damage taken on final to Sanaki runway 90.
Briefly sort of debating about what I should do. Should I try and use my energy to fire a missile? I finally remember to dump all my ordnance. At this point I'm definitely going in, so just want to try and make it nice and easy for any helicopter that comes by to pick up my crew. So I think this is either a empty base, that is in a destroyed base, or a friendly base. So it seems as good a place to jump out as any. So that one wasn't great, but there were two farmers against two A10s. Not surprising, one of the A10s went down. So, rearm, refuel, take off. Brand new plane. And doesn't take long before my Sidewinder starts buzzing at this little dot here. You can see the friendly Vulcans there opening up on him. So I know this guy is an enemy as he's coming around. I launch a Sidewinder. See that nice outline there, and I get him. I do keep on in here because I'm not 100% sure whether he's going in or not. I can't see a fire, I see black. But just wanted to make sure that he wasn't going to recover and turn around and get on me. So, moving pretty low speed here, and I see his friend flying directly overhead. His friend doesn't seem to have seen me. At least, if he did, he's lost me rather quickly later. So he's flying around, and I have just enough energy to get my nose up. Let's Sidewinder off, and splash second Fishbed in as many minutes. So I guess my main take home from this one is to not underestimate the A10's capability as a fighter. Those two Sidewinders are the same two Sidewinders the F5 get, and it's pretty damn good at using them. But shortly later I do take a missile in the back. Thankfully I do have friendly aircraft in the area who quickly nip in and take out my attacker, which is another MiG-21. I have taken a bad hit here, but I am mostly still able to fly. See, I'm just dumping fuel like nothing else. And on the display there, you can see I've got a right engine failure, it's just winding down, but the left engine seems to be holding. So I decide instead of trying to just ditch here, I drop my weapons and head back to base. And I do get back and call out I'll make an emergency landing. I misjudged the final turn, and so this is a horrifically steep emergency landing here. Results in me really slamming it down, which the gears did not like, but it meant that I survived. And so brought a very battered aircraft back, but at least it's back. So in the end I got 4 air kills, 10 ground kills for 5 losses, and so not much in the way of ground kills for an A10, but I'm really happy with that 4 to 5 air kill death ratio, which is pretty decent, especially when we consider there wasn't really many F5s flying around at the time, and so the A10s were mostly doing their own cap at the same time as trying to attack ground targets. I think between us we did a pretty good job. Anyway, that's all for today, so if you liked, do give this a like. If you have any suggestions or tips for me, please leave them down below in the comments. And if you'd like to see more of this kind of thing, do subscribe to the channel. Anyway, until next time, remember to have fun. Cheers.